I was born in Greensboro, Georgia, which is the county seat of Greene County, but I lived or was raised in Hancock County, Georgia. My mother and dad owned a 170-acre farm. At one time was part of a larger plot of land. Some people called it the Brantley Plantation. This gin was actually under the house. The house was elevated on granite rocks. As long as I can remember, apparently it was there when my grandparents bought the house. I think in the late 1970s, my dad moved it into his barn because he was going to underpin the house with concrete block and seal it up, and it would be trapped under there. And it stayed in the barn from the 70s until last year, 2015, and we sold the farm. Long story short, ended up in contact with Mr. Tharp at Georgia Southern, and I donated it to the Georgia Southern Museum.
This is an exceptional artifact because it's so well preserved and there are so few of them out there. This once was a really ubiquitous artifact. There were thousands of them made and in use in Georgia all through the antebellum period. And yet only a handful of them survive. And not only survive, but to survive in the extraordinary condition that this one is what makes it exceptional. This is a really important story for the South, for Georgia, and for coastal plain Georgia especially, because it touches on so many aspects of the economic, the political, and the social history of the South. Here in Bullitt County, cotton has always been a really important staple crop, all the way up until the boll weevil. But even after that, cotton has become the #1 agricultural commodity here in Bullitt County and this surrounding areas. It was at one point in time, Statesboro, the largest inland market for Sea Island cotton. So it has been part and parcel a part of this society and the economy and the social life of this area for a long time.
I found Daniel may rest and play.
So if you look at the frame of this gin, first of all, it's set up. It's a wonderful piece of carpentry work, mortise and tenon. On the back here is the hopper. So this is where the cotton goes in. And those bowls, once picked and brought in by wagon, are poured into this. You can see what that does is it just directs this down to the blades, and you can see the blade system in here. So this is what's known as a 40-saw gin. Let's go around on the other side of this. Take the top lid off. The lid was kept on here to help keep the lint inside in this sort of blower section and to help direct it out. But if we take this off, you can see the brush roller on the inside here. And so this is a canvas covered roller, and all along each of these strips, most of it is gone now, but much of it still survives. You can see the individual horsehair brushes that have been placed in each of these holes. So these brushes are rotating in this opposite direction, and as they do that, they're pulling the lint off of these blades and then blowing it out the other side over here where it would be collected.
Well, I'd like for them to, hopefully they will appreciate the craftsmanship that went into its construction. I'd also like the people to think about the human beings involved with the operation of the gin. There was probably slave labor involved, and maybe the gin, there was 2 or 3 generations that used the gin. Life was slower. I really don't think we can comprehend with our society now and all the modern conveniences, and I don't think we can comprehend the pace of life that went on at that time.
Go down, go down.
I don't really think I could have lived with myself if I sold it. I'm not a wealthy man, but there's more to life than money.
And him that